This is Boxing Tickets, and we are delighted to be joined once again on Zoom with the G Train, Graham McCormack. How are you, mate?
Good, man. I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I am fantastic. I always enjoy our Zoom interviews, or even if we do them in person as well. And everybody's sort of looking here to start and going, why is he smiling? We've just had a bit of banter before we started, but like you shouldn't be a happy guy probably at the moment because you probably could say you've been through the worst spell of your pro career. Obviously, how many cancelled and rescheduled fights have you had in the last 12, 18 months?
What? I was talking to, I don't know who I was talking to today. I was doing a PT. I was talking to someone. I was like, man, I think in the last 2 years, I've actually had four fights fall through, like in the last, not even 2 years, 18 months, like four fights, four fights even. Three with your man in Wales, two with your man, three with your man in Wales, and then two here in Ireland. Do you know what I mean? So, like, it's just, I'm not blaming the boys here in Ireland because, things came up and that's just the way it is, the way it could crumble. But it's just a kick in the stones for me, man. Do you know what I mean? Like you're training for fights and they don't happen. And then last week, was it last week?
Yeah,
Yeah, last week, like it was fight week. It was fight was cancelled, like you know what I mean? I'm like, fucking hell. So, so it's a kick in the stomach, but it's boxing, man. It's just such a ruthless game. Like it doesn't care. I think I said it to you 1,000 times. It doesn't care about the boxers. Like boxing doesn't care about us as fighters. You know what I mean? We're the fucking the run to the litter when it comes to the actual boxing. Like even though we're the ones that are doing it in the ring and stuff like that, but we're the ones that get treated the worst out of boxing as a whole sport. You know what I mean? Because it's like fight's over, fuck off, see you. Good luck. Do you know what I mean? It's rough, man. It's rough.
it's the stuff in the background that people don't see sometimes. The sacrifices. Obviously, I've laughed and joked with you at times where you've been in the and obviously your washroom, obviously on the bike and things like that. Like, I've always had a bit of banter with you. You always have that sort of bit of the background with it. Like a lot of things that go
Yeah.
on in the background of making weight and selling tickets and everything else. A lot of that goes unnoticed, and people only see all of you from interviews and from fight night and stuff like that. They don't see how much effort it takes to actually get into the ring.
Yeah, man. And it's so hard. And even like all that as you just said, yeah, but the hardest like the mental stuff, like to get yourself prepared to get into a fight that people don't realize. It's fucking hard, man. It's hard mentally, you know what I mean? Like I'm not saying like all fighters are fighters and we enjoy fighting, man, but there's no fighter out there that doesn't say mentally they struggle a small when they're getting ready for a fight because doubt creeps in and stuff creeps in. Did I train enough? Did I do this enough? Did I do that enough? What if this doesn't happen? Want to know? Now you learn how to push that stuff out, man. But that's always been my hardest battle. Has been my mind. You know what I mean? It's always been the hardest battle for me. Like so. Besides that, other stuff you said, like with the sacrifice you have to make him weight again. Another big thing for me. Like I actually do eat good. I just have a terrible metabolism, man. So I'm always fucking heavy. Like you know what I mean? I have a great nutritionist, Liam Williams, on board now, and he's made it a lot easier. Even the last fight, even though the damn fight fell through, my weight was good. You know what I mean? It's made it a lot easier, but like it's still hard. Like I still like I get so heavy so quick. You know what I mean? So like so much battles you have to get through before you actually get into the ring. You know what I mean? Mentally, physically. Selling tickets. My God, like so fucking hard selling tickets. And like I think people think you're making. I seen Tyrone McCenna talking about it the other day, and I was like, man, he's bang on the button there. Like I remember someone said to me a couple of years ago, about 2 years ago, she's much making loads of money. No, man, I'm broker now than I ever was before I was a pro boxer. Like without the sponsors I've had on board these last couple of years, and a lot of my friends who put their hands in their own pockets to sponsor me and look after me, and like I wouldn't have made it this far in the boxing game. I wouldn't have, like, you know what I mean? And it goes so unnoticed, like how hard this game actually is. It's so fucking hard, man. Financially, physically, mentally, it's just And then you have families. A lot of us have families. You know what I mean? Have a wife and kids, and jobs, and it's tough, man. It's tough game, bro.
I would say you're probably, from what you've been through in life, I'd probably say you're probably one of the most mentally strong fighters. You don't take things too serious. You have a laugh and a joke. Like, and even when you're saying it can be mentally challenging, that's probably gonna be 10 times worse for a lot of the other fighters.
I am a mentally strong guy, but 100% I am very, very mentally strong. But I battle a lot, and I haven't talked about it enough. I don't think I have talked about it enough really, but I battle a lot with myself. You know what I mean? And doubting myself and how others are thinking about me. Now I've been able to deal with it a lot better than most. I'd say I have been able to deal with it a lot better than most, and I have a good connection with God, and my recovery has helped me a lot in that sense. You know what I mean? But there's times there, man, where I'm not able to deal with it, and it gets on top of me, and I'm fucking and I really, really gets into my head, So like, that's the part of boxing that you don't see. My wife is great. Like, she really does help me out with that since I'm able to sit down and talk to her, but I wouldn't be one to talk about my feelings, I'm not one of those guys, I'm like, I wouldn't be like, let's have a hug and, I'm not one of those guys, like,
The
So
hugger.
yeah, look, I am mentally strong, but sometimes, man, it tips over, and it's like, fuck, and it all kind of comes on top of you, you know what I mean? So it's just, I suppose, learning how to get through that as well, but sometimes, man, it can be a lot harder than others.
I think sometimes you need that in life, that, if you just keep thinking everything's plain sailing and past it all, you need that wee moment sometimes to go, Craig, I'm not at my best here. I need to reset. I need to recharge. And I need to go for a walk. I need to sit down and watch something that's going to make me laugh and joke. That's life in general, isn't it? You're not every,
Yeah.
from what you've been through in life, still going to keep carrying demons in your head where it's going, I'm not having a good day today. Well, we do this, we do this. Just reset yourself. That's what you need to do.
But a guy said to me one time a couple of years ago after I got clean sober, and it always stuck with me. He's like, when you wake up in the morning, it's like there's two wolves inside you, like, and it's up to you who you feed, like it's either the good wolf or the bad wolf. Now, 90% of the time I feed the good wolf, but there's sometimes I don't feed the good wolf, I feed the bad wolf, and then I'm a prick to everybody around me, and I'm and I'm moody, and and that's down to my head, you know what I mean? Because I woke up to, you could say, the wrong side of the bed, or whatever you want to say, whatever way you want to put it, but for me, like, it's wake up in the morning, you know what I mean, and get your day going from the morning, and then you're okay. You'll win the day then, you know what I mean? But like, if you wake up in the wrong side of the bed, as they say, and it's hard then for me to drop back, you know what I mean? If I'm being, and like, if I'm being a prick, I'm a prick to everybody around me then, like, and it's not fair to the people around me, like, and then when you're going through a camp and your food isn't the way you want it to be, or and you're training hard, sparring, your body's sore, that can be a lot easier to take the prick route than to take the easy, the good route. You know what I mean? Because it's easier to just wake up and be a moody bastard, like, just tell everyone to fuck off, like, you know what I mean? And like, and for me, like, it's always trying to choose the hard road, which gives me the easy life and the easier things, because that's the truth saying. Like, if you do what's hard, your life is easy, and if you do what's easy, your life is hard. You know what I mean? So for me, it's like, just do what's hard in the morning, and don't be a fucking moody prick, and then you're fine for the rest of the day.
You I guess you're like a cat that sort of got the cream in some ways. Like, I was there for obviously your first fight with Craig and Waterford last year, and the immediate aftermath sort of, I know some of it's been shared this week in the promo of obviously the backstage stuff with his brother and with him, and I actually got a bit of it afterwards because Craig had sort of thought that I was the one that was telling him that he won the fight when I think it could be mixed up with Sam from Irish Boxing, but like, this is
Yeah.
a fight you sort of wanted, or you sort of surprised in some ways it's came back around again to you.
Yeah, I am really, to be honest with you. Like, not really surprised. It's like, at this stage, I've seen an interview with Ian down the rail. He was bang on. Like, at this stage of both of our careers, it's kind of the biggest fight there for us in Ireland, realistically. You know what I mean? So when there was talk of a show in Waterford, I was thinking, like, that's a good fight for that card. You know what I mean? And like, is he going to want to fight though? You know what I mean? But like, is there other fights out there for him or me in Ireland at the minute? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, we're no spring chickens, either of us. You know what I mean? So, and this fight is huge. You know what I mean? It's a very, very big fight for a non-title fight. It really, really is. You know what I mean? So, really draws attention. Like, I had someone stop me today inside in town. They're like, "Oh, looking forward to tickets for fight." Didn't even know who they were. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's really caught the attention. Like, I'll do a lot of tickets for this fight, and I'm sure he will as well. So like, I am surprised in a way, but I'm grateful that it is coming on, because it's going to be an absolutely cracking fight. And I'll be straight. I just said it before the thing. I want this fight, man. Like, I said it today. I've had losses in my career. I lost to Paul Keane, Fergus Quinn, and to George Liddard. Fergus Quinn and George Liddard, there was no question in doubt. I got stopped both times. And Paul Keane was a very close fight. I pushed him all the way. But this fight bothers me, man. Because, like, I feel I was robbed on the night. I dropped him, and it's clear as day I dropped him. You know what I mean? They didn't count it. There's angles from another camera they never showed. Like, stuff like, so this fight bothered me, man. So I'm absolutely delighted that I get this fight, I get this rematch, and I get to quench this loss and wipe it out of my mind. Because, like I said, the other three losses are lost. You know what I mean? It's fine. I can, I'm a fighter, man. I can live with that. I can live with, okay, you lose, but get over it. You know what I mean? You're a fighter. You have to take the good with the bad. You know what I mean? But this one, man, I didn't lose. You know what I mean? I didn't lose. And now I get to put it to bed. And I'll tell you one thing, I'll say it here now, and there's going to be no, and I'll say it through his press conference. I'm not going down there for a points win. I'm going down there for a war and to get him out. I'm not being fucked over down here again. You know what I mean? So I'm coming down there, and I'm coming down there. One thing on my mind, and that is just get the win by stoppage.
Do you think in some ways that they've done this rematch because I'm not sure obviously how you and Craig have obviously been since, like obviously when he's have that back and forth and there's needed a laughter fight and everything else like that. Do you think they've seen this fight and they're going like it's perfect for selling the card? The card probably won't need sold. Like I think it, by the looks of things, I think it looks like it's going to sell out very easy. But do you think they looked at it and thinking, going, we need someone that's going to have a bit of beef? Like if Tyrone and Dylan on the card, but it seems so far like Tyrone's got no beef, and I don't think Dylan's got any beef. You're Senan and Dave on the card for the Irish title, and then you've you and Craig. So they're guaranteed beef with the two of you in some way. So do you think that's probably why Neil and Conlan Boxing put that together?
Yeah, 100%, man. Neil Power is a nice guy, you know what I mean? Neil is a good guy, nice guy. And the Conlans, I like the Conlans. I worked the Conlans a lot. Like, I fought for, I was doing a Conlan card. I was supposed to fight another Conlan card. It didn't happen. So, like, they know what I bring. I seen Jamie Conlan said, I think was it you or was it with Irish Boxing? He said, they put it on the line all the time. They know what we bring, what I bring. Like, the fight sells itself, man. It's a very, very good fight. And it really is a ticket seller, you know what I mean? And it is for sure. It is going to sell tickets, you know what I mean? And there is, I know we quenched it online, but there is beef there, man. There is beef there between us. Like, as in, like, personally, as a human being, I don't dislike Craig. As a human being, he's a father, he's a family man. I respect that. But as a fighter, I'm coming in there. I don't like him, and I want to beat him up. And you know what I mean? They took it from me the last time, but they took that from me. Like, what, they didn't beat me, they took it from me. So, like, I'm coming over there. I'm coming up there with one thing on my mind. That's lovely, love. I'll go upstairs because my kids are back. But yeah, so there is, like, again, like I said, there's no personal beef there, but like there is beef there as a fighter's point of view. And my beef is they fucking robbed me blind on their last time, and it won't be happening this time. And that's it, you know what I mean? So, and anyone that thinks any different, I'm coming on there one thing on my mind: war with anyone who wants it. You know what I mean? So that's how I'm coming on there for, like,
I guess in some ways where you've seen fights and things like that have been close or obviously the right person hasn't got the nod. The only way you can make sure you can get the victory is by obviously either stopping them or making them quit.
That's 100%. That's all that's in my mind. I'm not going down there for a points win. Now, I know I've only got one stoppage. I'm not Gennady Golovkin, but I'm going down here with that in my mind. I don't give a fuck. And I'm not going to hide it either. I'm not going to say, oh yeah, I'm coming here. I'm not going to tell you my game plan. That's my game plan. I'm coming down there to take him out. Simple as. I'm not coming down there to jump around or jab or whatever. I'm coming down there for, sorry, man. Are we going to win? Are we going to win down in Waterford? What? What are we going to do? We're going to knock him out. So that's what I'm coming down for, man. You know what I mean? Is the KO win and nothing else,
Can you look in some ways that obviously I know you've obviously had, I think, 3 fights since. Craig's only had one other fight since. So are you going to capitalise on the fact that he hasn't had a lot of activity? He was stopped by Tommy Hyde last time out. Are you sort of coming in off that, or is it just off your own head where things didn't go right the first time?
Nah, like, I'm not going to go by the fights. I've had 2, I think, since I fought him, I think. And, like, they've been bad performances. I drew, and I got stopped in a round. So, like, realistically, it's not, like, to go into me and say, oh, yeah, I've had great performances. Like, I'm coming off a shit run. You know what I mean? So, like, if anything, he can try and capitalize on that. But, like, one thing I will say is I've been in the gym training for the last year non-stop. You know what I mean? So I'm fit, I'm sharp, you know what I mean? And I'm not, my weight's good because obviously I was only due to fight last week. So, like, I didn't put up loads of weight after I stopped the weight cut for the Dom fight that was supposed to happen last week. So, like, I'm in a good position in that sense. But, like, as fight-wise, like, I wouldn't really take much out of that. Like, you know what I mean? Craig only fought, I don't know when his fight was, 4 or 5 months ago. So, like, I wouldn't take much out of it, man. Like I said, I'm coming off a draw and a loss, like, so it's not like I'm coming off 2 good performances or anything like that. But I actually don't see anything else other than this fight. Like, you know what I mean? Like, my last fight, anything, it's just this one. I'm coming on here, like, that's all that I'm focused on. It's just this fight, and not what's happened before. Just that they fucked me over the first time, and I won't be letting it happen the second time. Like, that's all that's in my mind now. I don't see anything else or what he's done since, what I've done since, or anything like that. It's just It's me coming down here with one thing on my mind, and that's just a dominant win.
When obviously the card was announced the other day, you sort of said obviously in the post it's the last dance. Let's fucking have it. Is this what's the meaning behind that? Like obviously, I guess some people look at that one of two ways. Sort of, what was the meaning behind, or is that just the emotion of obviously the excitement of the fight being announced?
Yeah, look, I mean, like, could be my last fight. You know what I mean? The last dance. According to all, anyway, I'm never getting a ring again. You know what I mean? But look, I've had an unbelievable run as a boxer, man, as a professional boxer. I overachieved. I've done more than anyone said I could do. You know what I mean? Even though I lost my last fight, I made it there. You know what I mean? I was told I'd never make it there. I won a title, fought in a couple of big shows. You know, so like, if this is my last fight, this is a great fight to go on, man. You know what I mean? Like I said before we started, man, I've made a lot of sacrifice over the last couple of years. I've missed a lot of my family. My wife has made a lot of sacrifices for me, you know. And like, I love boxing, and boxing has given me everything I thought it would. Like, I never ever, I think I've done anything with juice early on. I never said I was going to be world champion. I'm not a fucking world champion. I didn't know pro till I was 30. You know what I mean? I was away from the sport for years over drinking, drugs, and jail and crime and whatever else. You know what I mean? So what boxing gave me was, it gave me a new life. And although being clean and sober is part of that, like I said to you before, I wouldn't have stayed clean and sober without boxing. I wouldn't have the life I have today without boxing. I have a brilliant life today. I have a beautiful wife and kids, and we have a great life. So boxing, I got everything out of boxing that I really wanted, and more, you know what I mean? And I've become I've become a good fighter. Am I the most skillful boxer? No. I'm rough and ready. I'm in your face, and I'm enjoyable to watch, which I always said I'd be. You know what I mean? And I'm grateful for the years I've had. You know what? Actually, I just not changed up, but popped up my face memory. 7 years ago to this day, I announced that I was turning professional. So 7 years ago to this day, this interview me and you were doing, I announced I was turning professional. I'll never forget it, man. You know what I mean? It's been unbelievable these 7 years. It's been unbelievable. I've had such a great career, man. I've had so many memorable nights. You know what I mean? I've had so many good things happen to me in this boxing career. You know what I mean? But like, I've had shit things happen to me in it as well. You know what I mean? And like, you know, it's the good. You take the good with the bad. You know what I mean? I've had some bad nights, but I've had some fucking great nights. And me and my wife, my son, you know, my kid, we've had great. Especially my boy, like, we've made some great memories. And like, I'm really grateful because now, if this is my last fight, I get to stay in the sport because my son is a boxer now. You know what I mean? And like, so like, I've given him that and showed him what we can do with hard work. You know what I mean? Like, you know, am I a millionaire? No, but we have a good life. You know what I mean? And I'm grateful for that. And like I said, without boxing, I wouldn't have this life today, man. I wouldn't have stayed clean and sober. I'd be either back in jail or I'd be dead. I've said it a million times, and that's the truth. So boxing has completely changed my life over these last 7 years when I turned pro. I'm at this game, 14 years old. I walked into a boxing club. I'm 37 now, man. You know what I mean? So it's been an unbelievable run, man. So the last dance, yeah, it looks like this is going to be my last fight. You know what I mean? You know, unless, no, right? I will say this straight, like, because Ian rings me the other day. And like me and Ian's a good friend of mine. Like, yeah, he's my manager, but he's my friend. You know what I mean? He says, man, go where are you? He said, I'll phone you in 2028, you cunt, and tell you that there's a fight, and you'll take it. You know what I mean? Do you know? So like, it's great to be able to laugh and joke about it. But you know, Shaun is my best friend. Not only is he my coach, my best friend. He thinks that maybe it's time too. Like, you know what I mean? You know, I've got great people around me. My wife, my manager, you know, my trainer. I have a great team. My good friend Sam Williams, Noel Bond, all the lads. You know, and like, you know, if this is the last fight, what a fight to go out on. What a way to go out to avenge the only loss that bothers me. Yeah, I've got a couple of losses, but it's the only loss that bothers me. So yeah, if it's the last dance, you know, in my head, this is the last dance, man. You know what I mean? This is it. This is curtain. 7 years ago, I made my debut on the 2nd of December. So if it's my last fight on the 7th of December, 7 years later, you know, that's fair. You know, you couldn't write it like you couldn't write it with a rematch. And fair play to Neil Power for making the fight. Thanks him for making the fight, and the Conlans, and my manager Ian, of course. It's going to be a great show. So if it is my last fight, man, I'm truly grateful to be going out in this fight and such a great show with great fighters on the card. And, you know, it's going to be great, man.
Speaking obviously in retirement, I was sort of shocked a wee bit last week. Obviously, another good friend of yours, obviously Jamie Morrissey, obviously packed it in. Like, you know, yeah. Jamie obviously had a shorter career than you, but obviously probably achieved more. And obviously he got into zone and stuff as well. Like, you know, in some ways, it's sort of maybe, I guess you probably been lucky in some ways where injury sort of hasn't curtailed your career? Like, look at obviously Jamie's away public speaking and things and stuff now and things like what a couple of years Jamie had in the sport.
Yeah, man, brilliant. You know what I mean? And nobody gave him a shout. Nobody gave him a shout. You know what I mean? Nobody did. Nobody gave him a shout. He turned pro. You know what I mean? So massive respect to him. Jamie's a brother to me, man. He's a great friend of mine. You know what I mean? And yeah, of course I was shocked, but like Jamie's a very, very clever guy. You know what I mean? And like Jamie made as much sacrifices as I did as a boxer. You know what I mean? As we all do, all pro boxers. I mean, whether you're male or female, you make massive sacrifices. So like you have to weigh up the options. Then, man, it's like a massively like he had a very, very bad injury in his hand, like non-stop, always hurting, man. I think it's from his fucking debut, I think, man. Do you know what I mean? So like he's always had the pains in his hand and it's been really bad. Like I remember sometimes sparring him, he stopped mid-spar, his hand has been so sore, like, like, and so like you have to look at it like as was it worth the sacrifices he was making to continue hurting his hand and whatever else goes with the boxing and and also he's had a couple of letdowns himself, you know what I mean? And like I said, it's a very, very tough game, but like Jamie's a great guy and has a massive life ahead of him no matter what he chooses, you know what I mean? He's that's just the way Jamie is, man,
It's
But also he's also young enough to take a year out and come back too, like, you know what I mean? He's only just turned 30, I think. So like
turned pro at 30.
I just turned pro at 30, like, you know what I mean? He can take a year, 2 years out if he wanted to, and come back. I'm not saying he's going to, and I haven't talked to him about that. I'm just saying if he wanted to, he's young enough to say, oh, you know what, I want to go back now. I've had a year out, my hand feels way better. Why not? If he doesn't, he's had a great fucking career in a short space of time. It's brilliant, man. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely unbelievable. And he's a great guy, So, but if he doesn't want to come back, so be it. He had a great career. But if he does, he can. Do you know what I mean? So.
Exactly. Obviously the press conference next week in Waterford. I'm sure they'll probably have.
Hey, I'm coming to Waterford. I'm coming for it. Oh, laddie, whoever wants it, you get it.
I'm sure they'll obviously have security and standby. Like it's not like you're a bad guy, but
it'd be like Derek Chisora and David Hayes. Remember that? Oh no, was it Derek Chisora? Was it?
Chisora
in Germany that time, was it?
Yeah,
no, it was Derek Chisora.
Well.
Started punching it out of each other.
I think was it Hay was after fighting Klitschko.
Klitschko. Yeah.
Was it Hay that fought?
Yeah, Hay fought Klitschko and Chisora. Oh no, Chisora fought Klitschko.
Chisora fought Klitschko and Hay came in to start.
Hay, and I'm fine with Chisora, you know what I mean? So I might do a bit of Chisora antics myself,
But it's not.
Why the fuck not?
It's not that you're just a menace. You just get excited. You obviously love entertainment. I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure you'll go down there on Tuesday and probably Jamie Conlan will probably come to the side and go start a bit of beef today, Graham, because he knows that you'll be up for it.
Jamie Conlan loves all that, man. I remember the last time I know our press conference, he's like, if you want to throw a few tables, so you can. You know what I mean? Like they love all that stuff, man. And you know what? Fair play to Craig McCarthy too, because he gives it as much as I give it. You know what I mean? So like, it's really is. The two of us that are going to build up this fight. So fair play to him, and I'm looking forward to a good fight because you know what? Say what you want. I say I was robbed. He say won. The first fight was a cracking fight, man. I only watched it back today. It was a great fight to watch. One second, it was a great fight to watch. You know what I mean? So, like, fair play. It's going to be enough. I think this is going to be a fight of the night. I really do. I think me and Craig are going to deliver. I think we're going to meet bang on centre of the ring, and then we'll have it out.
Like when you're watching it back now, are you still? Whenever you're finished watching, does that annoy you again? Like it's sort of going, to rise you up.
I turn it off. Like when round 8 is over, I just turn it off. I don't wait for the result of that. I just knock it off. Like, you know what I mean? Turn that shit off, man. Turn. Who put that gobshite in the television? Turn it off.
So like you nearly sort of as fight weeks go down, you'll sort of watch it on a daily basis to get you annoyed more. Like have you got a picture of Craig's face up on the dartboard? Have you started throwing darts at him yet?
I'll sellotape him to my bag out in the shed now in about 2 weeks. It's a big picture of his head in the bag. One second.
I know obviously sort of during the interview there, obviously your missus and the kids and stuff come in. Like we'll leave obviously the interview there, and no doubt obviously catch up with you sort of sooner they sort of fight week and stuff like that as well. But look, thanks as always for your time. Thanks for being on. Thanks for cheering up my Friday. I know this will go out for normal release tomorrow, and obviously it'll only be out today for the Ringside members on YouTube, so it'll go out tomorrow. But thanks for cheering up my Friday. It's good to start the Friday with a bit
Thanks
of
very
cheer.
much, man. And thanks for having me on. And thanks for always giving me the time over the years, man. You know what I mean? I really do appreciate it. And you know, if this is the last one for me, you know, I'm very grateful to yourself and the lads that have always given me the time over the years and helped promote myself in the career. You know, like without you guys, I wouldn't. You know, we as boxers wouldn't have a career in Ireland because who the fuck would know who we are? You know what I mean? So I'm really grateful to you and all the lads that have helped me out over the years, but I appreciate all the time you've given me, even though I'm a fucking messer.
But listen, thanks very much for your time as always. We'll look forward to Harry Maguire's next appearance in the Man United shirt.
Harry Maguire! Away with man, I swear to God, I'm actually fucking sick of watching him. Like he started Mazraoui in Cam last night. Like what the fuck? Like I can't make sense of it. Like I watched the game last night with my own flat, and I was like what's going on here? Like what's I don't know, man. I just can't make sense of Ten Hag at all. Like.
I think he must be looking to sack, so he's trying to do things to provoke them to sack him, so they give him a payoff.
He must be. I'm actually thinking, like, is he looking to get sacked? Like he must be, bud, because like, there's no way he's starting Mazraoui like in behind the striker. Like, I was like, man, what's going on here? Like, you know, so it's like he must be just looking to get sacked. Like,
I would have thought, like, if I would have thought of anybody else in defence, would have put obviously the butcher at number 10 or even in centre midfield. Like, he'd be Roy Keane. You know, he just go through people.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Or like, he had loads of players on the bench that he could have put in instead of him. Like, do you know what I mean? It's, I don't know. They're driving me bananas. You know what I mean? I love Man United. And I'm going to keep watching them, but geez, it's hard nowadays. Like, it's fucking hard.
Well, look, thanks as always for your time.
Thank
and
you,
I'll
bud.
catch up with you.
Thank you, bud.
Cheers, take
See you
care.
later, bud.
Cheers, thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.